AME South as well, which is a large classroom building. That's another picture of Scheme B. So you can see right here, we're going to have to change and actually landscape and make the underpass look attractive as well, because that's now the front of the building as far as I'm concerned. And this space right here, this other parking lot, and this is my car right there. Actually, that's where it is today. That is the space for the next engineering building. So eventually the whole college will be across Speedway, and we'll be thinking medical school, engineering, law, Eller. That'll be the action corridor for the university. And that's why tech transfer is getting more exciting as we go. So I know all of you love the civil engineering buildings.
Existing building?
There is an existing building, yes. Somebody else will use it.
Somebody else.
What, you thought we were going to just... Kevin's going to take the whole building. Yeah. No.
You didn't hear water get moved over here, so water...
Right now, water looks like it's going to be on Roger Road, but we're still dinking around with Roger Road. So I thought, you didn't go to the meeting this morning, did you, for Roger Road?
I didn't know there was.
Okay. There wasn't one this morning. I didn't either. Okay. Option 2, a little bit taller, a little bit deeper. And so it's just in the blocking. All these colors actually have meaning. There's certain labs and certain spaces, right? So I just didn't put all the keys down here so you get a chance to see what they look like. And again, at some point there's going to be something here, so you have to have a nice playthrough in the design at that point as well. Yes?
I suppose it's probably too late, but has there been any thought given to the orientations of the building for energy conservation?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I never talk about those kind of things, but yes is the answer. The eventual goal is that this should be water net zero. We should be able to do all water, and then power will depend upon what's actually in the building equipment-wise. So it's hard for me to predict what faculty are going to bring into the building relative to equipment.
Solar panels.
Yeah. We'll have, absolutely. We'll have all. In fact, we have to be LEED silver. That's ABOR requirements, and I think they're going to try. I thought they were going to try to do LEED platinum. I think that's their eventual goal. And so we can't have an engineering building that's not efficient. I mean, that's really bad. That's really bad, okay? They'll laugh at us, and I don't want to be laughed at, okay? So, but yeah, I don't talk a lot about that. But the blocking is such that the people are all in one area, the offices are in one area, the laboratories are in a slightly different area, and you want to block the people because that's where you're going to have the air conditioning expenditure. I mean, there are strategies that the architects use to reduce the cost, and that's part of SUNT's mission as well.
And limit the windows on the...
Oh, right.
The horseshoe towards the west side.
Good.
Which is good.
So I like that courtyard if we can do the shading correct, because that's going to be a space that I'll be able to use for exciting things. All right, we'll be able to put displays out there. There'll be all sorts. So when you walk into the civil... Everybody's been in the civil engineering building, right? When you walk into the building, how do you know it's an engineering building? You look at the sign, yeah, and if you look at that little board where they have those white little letters, they have that as well. Okay, that's not the kind of branding and identity that we really want. Okay, so this building will have identity. I mean, you should expect things hanging from the ceilings. You should expect banners, for our team. When the ASCE team goes to regional competition and wins and brings home a banner or a trophy, we need to be able to put that up in the student center or in the main lobby. When we have the outstanding student in the College of Engineering, that person should be on the wall. The outstanding professor, that person, if we get a National Academy member, that person's picture should be on the wall. We need to be able to capture our history and build our culture through these kind of things. Right now, we're sort of spread out in all these different places, and we have almost none of that. Right, almost none. There's some really nice pictures in my office. There's some really nice pictures in the civil engineering office as well. But as a college, we have very little of that history. So that's part of what we want to try to capture here. Okay, I think I accidentally skipped a few slides, but I'll give you the whole slide deck. And I'm over about 5 minutes, but we can do a few more questions if people want to ask a question or two. And again, here I'll start off with a controversy. I do not think Brittany Griner can play in the NBA. Absolutely not.
I don't want her to either.
What, you don't want her to? That's not whether I want or not. Yeah, it's not a want issue. No Brittany Griner.
How are you paying for the engineering building?
How am I paying for it? So I have two things. Thanks, Tom. But way to lead right into that, baby. $50 million is being provided by University of Arizona Bonding Authority. And that money will be paid back. The building is largely research. That piece of the building is largely research. And part of research comes with indirect costs, and so that's the facilities part of the F&A. And we have a research target for the building that if we do that, it will pay the debt service and the mortgage on that part of the building. On the other part of the building is philanthropic, and so we have a $20 million raise. It's going slow. I'll talk about that tomorrow a little bit. We've raised $1 million. We've got about $16 million in asks out right now, and we keep asking. So Teresa will tell you how much I've been traveling this semester. All right, so you can't be in this job. If you're afraid to ask somebody for millions of dollars, don't take this job. Right, but what's the worst thing that happens?
They say no.
They say no. That's the worst thing is actually they say maybe and hang you. You're hung there. That's the worst thing. Yeah. Yes is the best. No is second best. Maybe is third best. Yeah. So maybe, then no. Yeah. Right. So yeah. So that's the plan. I'm sorry. Yes, Ed.
Yeah. How's the decision made on who gets space in the building?
So that was all done in the programming, and the building is actually designed for 50% new faculty who aren't even on the campus yet. There's 40 slots for PIs. We built it around PI space. The building has, and I didn't show you all the areas in the building because I thought you were really interested in the civil engineering areas. The building has 7 basic areas. They're not department based. They're all research area based, and so the building will be interdisciplinary. And if you sign in and say, I want space in the building, then there's going to be here is the expectation on the research side. So we are actually picking people who we think with new and better space will be able to elevate their research game and bring in additional indirect cost return. Else I can't pay the mortgage.
But that decision is made in your office?
Yes.
The people in civil are Robert Fleischman, Jennifer.
Jennifer, for sure. Yeah.
Chang.
Yeah. Yi Chang in the simulation visualization, he'll be an absolute knockout here.
Lian Yang. So essentially, our all-interview faculty are there.
So far. And so there's 40 PIs that the building will hold approximately, and everything's modulated out. You know, the biomedical piece is 900 square feet per, and that's this much for the faculty office, so many students in the model, and so much laboratory space. I mean, these guys actually, they're very clever. The architects that we picked have done this before. Plus, I got Joe Gervasio on my shoulder all the time, making sure they're in line. So it's nice to have a guy like Joe. Joe, what do you think? Yeah. So
is there a classroom?
No.
No classroom.
No.
Where will it be?
No, actually, that's not true. There are a couple of conference theaters. It's not a classroom building.
Right next door, AME has 2 big halls.
Yeah, AME South is a classroom building.
Will stay in the existing building.
Right, but the next building in the parking lot you're in right now, when I level this building too, will be the classroom building and office building for the entire college.
Oh.
We don't have a classroom. We're all over campus.
Yeah, we're horrible for classrooms.
So some of our faculty have to walk most of a mile to get to class.
Yeah, ask them. I mean, and by the way, as our enrollment goes up, this classroom thing gets more interesting because the way the rooms are distributed across the campus they're not sized well for the kind of things that we need sometimes. I mean, I don't like to put a 50-person class in a 90-seat room.
So, Dean, is it your vision that every engineering department is in the same building?
Well, that can't ever happen because electrical is in a building for the next 50 years that's across the street.
Right.
It just can't. I mean, the buildings are 75-year planning horizons, but we're trying to get more clustered together, as opposed to right now, where all the way south to old engineering and all the way north to AME. So getting us closer together. There's an inverse cube law in these distances. So it's really tough. So, and again, interdisciplinary is really the world right now.
I see a lot of collaboration between different engineering disciplines.
Right.
And that
Got to do that, right. I think UCLA, our UCLA grad right here, UCLA had the right idea in the 60s. Definitely. They had the right idea in the 60s for today. Right. Our structure really is around Harvard 1850. That's when this department thing started to really become in vogue. Yeah, let's do research in the discipline. And at that time, it's probably right. How do you say something bad against Harvard, right? It's a great place. He's laughing. What else? Great. It's always good to see you, Mo. Yeah. I don't get a chance to see Mo enough. Co-Michigan grad with me. Good enough? I think I'm done. No, there's no more questions.